We live. We live. Dum, 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 dum. We live, y'all. We finna Candace Owen just came on. And we finna go ahead and see what she talking about. I don't know if I want my camera on this side or this side. Which side should I put it on? Back it up some. I'm gonna back it up some. Back it up some. There it is. Cool. Don't worry about that stuff back there. I should give me a green screen and block it out. But give me 1 second here so I can get us 'm gonna cancel that. Share. Let's see what we got here. I don't want to do that. Let me see how I did that last time. All right. Well, it's not letting me share. Let's see here. Trying to figure it out for us, y'all. Give me 1 second. Give me 1 second. Give me 1 second. Can y'all hear me? Can y'all hear me? Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? Let me know. I'm sure you can. All right, let me share this stream. All right. Whoa. Whoa. That was too much. That was too much. Let's see. Why is it giving me all these duplicates like that? That ain't what I want. That's totally not what I want here. So stop sharing. Why do it look like that, y'all? Can anybody? Oh, hold on, y'all. Here we are. Oh, here we are. Let me do this. Here we are. Here we are. There we are. All right. Now I'm good. All right. Now y'all can see what I'm doing. So let's go. Candace is on right now, y'all. So that's what we're finna go listen to. Finna go listen to our girl Candace. Y'all see the episode.
Then we took a week off to investigate Erica, and I was...
Let's start from the beginning. All right, as y'all know, I'm a big Candace Owen fan. That's my girl. So we're gonna go full screen on it, and we're gonna stop as we go. So let's see what we got. And you know she's talking about Charlie Kirk situation and everything like that. So let's see what's really going on. You know what I'm talking about? How everybody doing here today?
Episode 4. The writers are...
All right. So let's sit back and see what Candace talking about. Okay.
All right, you guys. In today's episode of Everybody Grieves Differently, and by the way, I should say we are in like season 17, episode 4. The writers are running out of ideas and they're just putting up things that don't even make sense anymore. Yeah, well, on today's episode, President Trump has appointed Erica Kirk to the Air Force Academy's Board of Visitors. Now, if you would like to know how that further empowers this world-renowned widow who is definitely grieving, I will explain that to you Is she qualified? Of course not. Not even a little bit. Doesn't even matter. Also, I got to speak to you about something much more seriously. I have a hunch, a growing hunch, that Erica and Jeffrey Epstein may have crossed paths. Something is not sitting right with me about how
I really like how she do her camera views. But she got a whole team. I'm gonna learn how to do that. I really like how she do her camera views and how she changed back and forth to what she got going on. It makes it look really, really legit. I really, really like her show and how she does everything. I'm finna try to get her. I don't want her chat. How do I get her chat off of there? I just want her. Let's close her chat. Yeah, we don't want her chat, right? We don't want her chat, y'all. We got our own chat. Say hello in the chat, like, comment, and subscribe.
she just keeps dancing around Jeffrey Epstein in her life. I am finding it increasingly difficult to believe that Erica just keeps coincidentally getting involved with countries and companies and schools that Epstein is involved with deeply. So I went ahead and messaged the PR team, legal team over at Turning Point USA with a very specific question pertaining to a modeling company that I recently discovered that she had some involvement with. 48 hours later, we have not yet heard back. Welcome back to Candace.
I don't think Erica gonna respond because I mean, what can she say at this point with all the evidence we got? She is caught up. She did some not righteous things. So I mean, at what point can she really say anything? She's caught red-handed. You know what I mean? Like the video, guys. I appreciate it. Like the video, and let's continue.
Yeah, I'm here for it. I love it. That's what you need to know on this Tuesday morning. So you get back to work, Goyam. You'll be lucky if you ever pay off those student loans, pay down that mortgage. Erica Kirk, on the other hand, well, she's just being handed promotions. In case you missed it, her husband died. So now she will be advising the Department of Defense. I don't know. With this appointment, Erica joins just 15 other members. That's how exclusive this board is. There's just 15 other members, and they are responsible, just so you understand what the job requires. They're responsible for making recommendations to the defense sector.
And just to catch you guys up, I don't know who all been watching Erica Kirk transition and Turning Point USA and the Charlie Kirk assassination. But I am fully invested in what went on. Like I said, me personally, I really didn't love Charlie, but I don't want to see nobody get killed like that. And then to find out that he got backstabbed by his own community, the people that's closest to you is the people that you got to watch the closest. And it seems like Candace Owens is the only one that's not buying this narrative that the FBI and that these Secret Service people is giving us. They're lying. They're lying. So we're gonna get to the bottom of it, and I'm rocking out. I'm rocking with Candace. So I'm Candace 100%. Candace in that number one in the chat. Candace all day. Let's go.
Secretary Pete Hegseth regarding changes to the Air Force Academy. They're also tasked with providing an annual report regarding the Military Institute's morale, its finances, its financial state, and its academics. Now, you might be wondering right now, how on earth is Erica Kirk? How did she really just graduate from an apparent stay-at-home mother to suddenly being qualified to submit financial, academic, and military morale reports to the Defense Secretary of the United States? And if you're wondering that, you should know that you're everybody. We are all wondering this, but I don't know, guys. Her husband died. That's what I'm told. We are just constantly being reminded that her husband died. Therefore, hey, she could be president one day. That's what Charlie said, allegedly. There's no, obviously we can't see where he said it, but he did say it. He just happened to say that she's going to be president one day. And some would say that maybe it's starting to look like a Claire Underwood from House of Cards situation. Maybe.
So true. I'm glad somebody connected the dots as well. And you know what? Because it's time out for us just saying, oh, whatever you tell us, we're going to go for it. No, I'm done. thumbs down. I'm done. You can't just, what it's a saying that says you can't piss on me and tell me it's raining. And that's what the government and our society today is doing to us. They are pissing on us and telling us it's raining. Oh, we moved in for weapons of mass destruction. They've been lying to us for decades, and we're just now waking up to it. So I'm part of the woke crowd, but not that weird woke crowd to where I'm offended by freedom of speech, or I'm offended by someone's actions, or this, that, and the third. No, not that woke crowd, but the woke crowd of you just can't keep telling me BS and think that I'm going to just say, oh, okay, yeah, you're right. No, I'm not doing that.
We don't feel
Great
so
comment.
great about her ambition in this
Great
moment.
comment, Jex. Great comment.
Those people, you should dispel what they're saying. They would be wrong, because the experts have explained things very clearly. And the experts say Erica is qualified because Charlie was qualified. She's literally just taking his place. Anything he can do, she can do better. Yeah, sure. Charlie was a literal boy genius, boy wonder, who had been militarily inclined since high school. Remember, his plan initially was to get into West Point, but then he established Turning Point, and it drove his life into a different direction. And sure, Charlie then built and ran that successful college campus student organization with chapters all across the nation. And sure, that organization earned him the ear of the president of the United States and every major political player in the country and world. And sure, that organization was taking $100 million in annually. But what? Like, it's hard. Erica's husband died, so now she's qualified to take his place. That's how.
False. If if Trump died, Melania is not qualified to be the president of the United States of America. Do we agree on that? If Trump died today, Melania Trump is not qualified. He ain't even qualified. That's just my personal opinion. But if Trump died today, is Melania qualified to be president? Answer that question, somebody.
This works now. And that's what she's doing. Charlie, by the way, had himself earned that appointment. And there was backlash going, wait, whoa, this is a very big deal. We shouldn't be mixing politics with this. He had earned that appointment in March of 2025. So just 6 months before he was assassinated. We can all therefore reasonably assume that his beauty pageant wife, who makes t-shirts with biblical verses on them, is going to bring the same level of experience to this exclusive role, because she's grieving. And the math on this is really simple. It makes perfect sense if you don't think about it.
Also, guys, if you'd like to be a moderator on my channel, please let me know, and I'll make that happen for you guys, okay? Thank you. And I do need moderators. I need people to make sure the chat stay productive and clean, and you know what I mean? We're not going to do a lot of BS. We're all about business over here.
At all. And you want to know what I think? I think that, why stop there? Why stop there? We're so far past ridiculous. I want them to actually just accelerate things. Why not just make Erica the defense secretary altogether? Why not just give her command and control over the Army, the Air Force, the Marines, the Space Force? I do not see a legitimate reason why Erica wasn't sitting to the left of Trump in the Situation Room when they bombed Iran. That seems perfectly logical now. I mean, her husband was assassinated and she's a grieving widow. So, yeah, maybe she could provide counsel to the president regarding this crucial Operation Epstein Fury. That's what we're calling it. We know what this is really about. They're distracting us from the Epstein files and just doing whatever Israel wants, like always. Which brings me to Jeffrey Epstein in general. Speaking of Jeffrey Epstein, who was in fact an occult Jewish pedophile, I wanted to show you this email. I had mentioned that seems perfectly logical now. I mean, her husband was assassinated and she's a grieving widow. So, yeah, maybe she could provide counsel to the president regarding this crucial Operation Epstein Fury. That's what we're calling it. We know what this is.
That's what I want to say. So have you guys noticed every time that we get more stuff that's coming out about the Epstein file, something else always happens to distract us? Every time we get more requests for the Epstein files to come out fully, we get more things to distract us. You guys wondered why? No. Look over here. Look over here. Well, we got something going on over here. Why every time we get deep into the Epstein file, we get something happen? Oh, we're going to war. Oh, we didn't kidnap the president of Venezuela. Oh, this is going on. Oh, why is that, y'all? Why are they trying to distract us with everything else but these files? Can anybody tell me that? Why are they trying to distract us? Don't look over here. Look over here. I don't know. Just saying.
It's really about. They're distracting us from the Epstein files and just doing whatever Israel wants, like always. Which brings me to Jeffrey Epstein in general. Speaking of Jeffrey Epstein, who was in fact an occult Jewish pedophile, I wanted to show you this email. I had mentioned it yesterday that took place between him and the Princess of Norway. I had mentioned it because well, I was casually discussing how the real aims of these people is they just want they want less humans. The elites want less humans on Earth. They do not want us to be able to reproduce. They will give us whatever propaganda serves, whether you're left or
So true, Jex. So true. Operation Chaos. That's a fact.
right. And yeah, you're going to see this email that I'm going to show you to put it in its proper context. The lead up to this email is the two of them discussing food and antibiotics destroying living organisms. I'm very antibiotic. We'll save that for another show. Anyways, this discussion ends with a mild celebration regarding how ultimately that's going to give them the power to just create humans. This is a conversation back in 2012. Let's read it together. She writes, the princess writes, "You always make me smile because you tickle my brain, but I want the data from now, or the bill is mine. It is the cocktail of all of the unnaturals that have a profound effect on the early stages of development in humans. Soon, people won't be able to make new humans anymore. But I guess that would be La La Land great because we can just design them in a lab." So futuristic. Just design humans in a lab. I just think it's really important for me to underscore to you guys that left and right, that has always been the goal. Less humans. To my lefties, truly, it was never about my body, my choice. Go down the Emma Goldman rabbit hole. Go down and understand who was behind Margaret Sanger. This was always.
Also, she has a book club, and in her book club, they discuss a lot of different things, man. Y'all should check out her book club. Reading is fundamental. Check out her book club. You guys get a lot of information that you might not have known about certain things that's going on. It's crazy.
About eugenics. The goal was eugenics. They view us all to be human weeds that need to be exterminated. Now, to my conservatives who, like me, truly believed that our military was out there spreading democracy all over the world because the West is the best, and that this was going to, these wars would in some way benefit us. Nope. I think now we can accept this was about just mowing the lawn, mass murdering people, also destroying history because they want like a forever present, a forever future almost. Like we did in Iraq, like we did in Afghanistan, destroying ancient civilizations with the added
Please subscribe, guys.
plus of stealing country resources that are going to help them further poison the general Goyim population. Poppy seeds for opiates, followed by an opioid crisis in America, got everybody addicted, encourage them to kill their offspring. Big pharma in a nutshell. Okay. Yes, it is also their ultimate goal with IVF. They want all of us to have to come to them, the government overlords, to be able to have a family. A lot of women today are struggling with fertility issues. That's a real thing, and that is not by accident. That is by design. So there was all of this.
They're making our food to help people not reproduce. And the person that said Erica killed her husband. Oh my God, that is not nice, not at all. I won't say that she did that until we got further proof, but it don't look good. It don't look good. It don't look. I think she was cheating on Charlie, and I think Charlie was about to figure everything else out, and I think certain things had to happen for certain things to happen. I'm gonna put it like that in the vaguest term that I could possibly do it. You know what I mean? I know that whoever that dude is that got in jail in Utah, he didn't do it. I know that. I know he didn't. I know Charlie didn't get shot with a 30-06 and his head stay contained to his body. I know that. So, I mean, you take it for what it is.
Panic yesterday online. The show was trending because we're beginning to discuss the occult. We're discussing mysticism. These people are literally summoning demons, and they're making blood sacrifices. And now the world recognizes that. I think it's now a mainstreamed conversation, which is fantastic. And I wanted to follow up on that note and show you another clip of Father Ripberger discussing this on Sean Ryan's podcast. He's on there discussing as an exorcist the things that he has come across. It's a fantastic conversation. It's like 4 hours long. You should watch the entire thing. But in particular, in this clip, he's going to discuss how coming into contact Freemasonry, essentially, and how people can raise the ranks through the occult families, how they get involved with these mystic cults in general. Anyway, take a listen.
If you are in the occult, do
Yeah.
you just arrive at that level where you're doing satanic rituals, or do you graduate?
Some graduate. Some are actually they're trained in this stuff from the very beginning. Sometimes they're actually groomed. Where they'll watch them in college, or they'll watch them and then they'll introduce them into this through various secret societies and things of that sort. They'll get them into engaging in the occult. There's a few of these people, not many of them, that are actually part of a pedigree or history that extends back to the late 1500s, 1600s, where the occult practices has been in their family lineage literally for 300 to 400 years. And so they're so proficient in the knowledge about how this stuff works and what is actually involved. They know that there's demons and God, etc. And they know that their activity in the occult is getting demons actually involved. They fully know that. In fact, their knowledge of this stuff is almost on the same level as mine. And so they have a full understanding of it, but they're on the side of evil. And so they tend to raise their children generation after generation within that particular occult set of practices.
That is exactly right, ladies and gentlemen. These bloodlines are ancient. These practices are ancient. And the reason why they're constantly moving people all over the world is they don't want you to have this ancestral knowledge. They don't want you to know that they're doing this stuff in broad daylight. The revelation of the method. They're kind of telling you they're doing these things. More on that later. The point here is that Epstein was definitively of the mystic Frankist ilk. He was practicing mystical Judaism. There is no question about that. It always involves occult rituals, which involve harming innocent children. And regarding Jeffrey Epstein in particular, I want to throw it back to this tweet that I published on Thursday, January 29th of this year. It's really interesting in retrospect because I truly did not know what it might amount to. So the backstory here is that I had received a couple of emails from people that follow and watch the show at the White House, and they said, "Hey, Candace, Andrew Colbert, Mikey McCoy, and a couple of women look like Mikey McCoy's wife. They were in the West Wing, and we just."
So I started a poll. Do you think Erica Kurt has something to do with her husband's death? I started the poll. Let's see what you guys think, man. Let's get some interaction. Let me know what you think go ahead and interact with the poll, guys. Thank you. And please subscribe. This is what we do, y'all. This is what we do. We got
thought that's kind of odd because Andrew just presented as though he was live on the Charlie Kirk show doing a phone call with Kash Patel, but actually he's here. He's in front of us here in Washington, D.C. on the other side of the country. So I followed up with them and I asked them specifically who was Andrew Colbert and allegedly Mikey McCoy and co meeting with. Could you guys ask around and figure this out where you saw them? And they said, well, and I'll quote this, the offices in that general region are senior White House staff. It could be Susie Wiles, Stephen Miller, James Braid, the vice president's hallway and the situation room connect to that lobby. So any number of people could have been in there, a Cash, the NSA director, Pete. The cabinet meeting had just let out 15 minutes prior too. So that also adds any members of the cabinet. I didn't know what to make of this, right? So I just instantly put the information out there. And this is what I tweeted. I tweeted just in case. I said, tweeting this in case it's relevant down the line. 2 days ago, Thursday, January 29th, Blake Neff and Andrew Colbert hosted Kash Patel on Charlie Kirk's show. It appeared as though Kash phoned into the show live, but he did not. Andrew Colbert was actually...
Kash Patel was on the Charlie Kirk show. I think they should change everything that got Charlie Kirk name attached to it. I think they should change it. Wow. Good comment, Jex. Good comment. Who are we at war for? That's the question. This is what I got. My question is, what do we benefit from this war? Because what I found out with my research, I found out that the oil from Venezuela that we captured is unusable. It's too thick, right? It's too thick. The only people who have the cure to make this oil valuable and usable is Iran, which Venezuela has been in business with for centuries. I don't know. Do what you want to do with that, but sounds like a puzzle's being put together to me.
In the West Wing in DC that day, taking a meeting with top brass. The episode was pre-recorded. People in the White House and all around the world think Andrew is shady and intentionally wanted the public to think that he was in Arizona for some reason. So they asked me to release this information. Net is unconfirmed, but they believe Andrew was accompanied by Mikey McCoy and his wife, Elizabeth. If you see something, say something. Okay, so I share that. And what struck me as immediately odd was that Andrew Colvett and allegedly Mikey McCoy and his wife were making an effort to fake alive on Charlie Kirk's show with none other than Mr. 33 Kash Patel. Like, why do that at all? In that particular episode that they had with Kash Patel, Kash called in and it was all very performative. I never do this. I never call. Like, it's like, you guys are like together in DC. What are we doing here? I had also replied on January 29th, which you can find this tweet to someone. And I said like, hey, I'm trying to figure out why Andrew Colvett's in the White House. Now, Andrew, the reason why this also should stand out to you is because Andrew has missed plenty of episodes of the Charlie Kirk show. Sometimes it's just Blake Neff. Sometimes it's just, it's Blake and Mikey. Sometimes it's a guest host. Sometimes when traveling, Andrew even calls in for a segment. But this was, for some reason, pre-recorded and intentionally presented to the public as though it was live. I never do this. So I thought through that and I said, a fair assumption is that they did not want people to know that they were taking a meeting at the White House. And that's a very unusual desire for Turning Point USA, right? They normally love to promote the fact that they are involved with Trump, throwing flashy events at the White House, Mar-a-Lago, posing, all glammed up.
Is that even a good thing to be involved with the president at this point in time? Isn't he going against everything that we believe in? Mr. President of no war? Just saying.
So then I had asked myself, well, what in particular was it about this meeting on this day in the West Wing that they wanted to fly under the radar? What could have been the subject that they wanted to fly under the radar? I wasn't sure. Like I said, felt important enough to tweet about it just in case. And lo and behold, the very next day.
Tracy, elaborate on that. Who do you think was trying to troll Candace, and on what level were they trying to control her on? Elaborate on that.
On January 30th, the Epstein files were released.
I'll be right back.
And I thought, oh, how precise. Is it possible that the meeting was related to the Epstein files, which are heavily redacted and obviously not complete? And said to myself, well, Erica was heavily involved in the pageantry world, really her whole life. Trump was also heavily involved in the pageantry world. More specifically, Donald Trump was actually the 50% owner of Miss America alongside NBC Universal when Erica was crowned. And Trump and Epstein's relationship, to be sure, seemed to be centered around pageantry and the modeling world and parties. There was even a lawsuit that was filed back in 1997 over a pageant company wherein one of the guys had said that during a meeting for his company that Jeffrey Epstein was there, which is kind of like an honorable mention. So, okay, and Trump has never denied that he hung out with Epstein. He said, I never went to the island, but there are obviously photos. So that's interesting. And I want to make sure you understand what Jeffrey Epstein did, how he was trafficking. It's important to remember that Jeffrey Epstein was specifically trafficking women from Eastern Europe through modeling agencies. Okay. So it's a great cover, whether he was working with Victoria's Secret, Les Wexner hands him the keys and all of a sudden he's like a casting director looking at all of these models. Jean-Luc Brunel in Paris, his agency, MC2 Modeling, Jean-Luc Brunel kills himself. The media doesn't want to mention the fact that they also had offices in Tel Aviv. Jean-Luc Brunel did. And that's how he was accomplishing it, because when you see a lot of women.
Oh, TPSU. You know what? I don't think they thought that Candace would invest in what she believes in, and I don't think they thought that she wouldn't buy into the narrative. You know what I mean? Because I didn't buy into the narrative either. So they just woke up a sleeping beast, is what I see. Candace really was his friend. If I passed away, I would want somebody to look into and like in a mysterious way. I would want somebody to go as hard as Candace is going for Charlie as well. This to me is admirable. You know what I mean? Not to just fall in line. Like that's all we've done as American people, and like it's almost like we've given away our free will, our free train of thought, our liberties and our capabilities. It's like we just gave it away. Just like little ducks following each other for no apparent reason. So I admire what she's doing. And if something happened to me of that magnitude, I would hope I have someone in my life like a Candace who would stand up for me as well. I that's why I love her, because I admire what she's doing and she believes in truth. And so do I. And so I'm gonna rock with her to the end.
And at a modeling agency, you don't go, oh, maybe these women are being trafficked from Europe.
I wish I had a round of applause. Jax, you're not lying. That's clappable. That's clappable. Sheeple. Look it up. That's beautiful, Jax. Sleep sheeple.
Maybe these women are not actually happy to be here. Maybe they're in some danger, right? It's like the illusion when there's just a lot of models in any event, whether it's a pageant, anything else, is that this is normal because it's just the world of fashion or the world of beauty or the world of modeling. Okay. So Victoria's Secret, he's doing casting for.
Subscribe,
and also when you go through his emails, it seems like he's also hand picking girls for certain pageants. I mean, I've read through some of them. Like he had clearly a very strong relationship with the Miss North Carolina one year. I thought, okay, maybe still another coincidence, right? Erica's in pageant world, Trump's in pageant world, Epstein's in pageant world-ish.
Tracy, that's false. She got records of them talking months before he passed away, days before he passed away. They've always been friends. And then at the time where he shunned her, it was outside sources playing against her. It wasn't him and his personal feelings. It was outside sources and what they were trying to achieve compared to what she would enlighten him to that they were trying to do.
Then we took a week off to investigate Erica, and I was even more stunned by some more coincidences, and I'm going to run you through them here. Okay, so in 2010, we know Jeffrey Epstein, based on the emails, begins procuring models from Romania. We also know that that's the same time and year the Black Sea Rotational Force in Constanta, Romania, is being led by Erica's cousin, Lieutenant Colonel Dennis Franțve. It's the first time America is operating a base in Romania, which is later going to be accused of prostituting underage Romanian children. Brothel, Colonel Otto Buscher. Same time frame, Tyler Boyer goes out to Constanta, Romania, and he's hanging out and he's partying and he's drinking with Romanian models and parliament politicians. Then Tyler is going to return from Romania around September of 2010. Makes sense because he was attending Arizona State University, so school's got to get going. And then that same year, Jeffrey Epstein begins giving money to Arizona State University, specifically for their Origins project. Okay. 4 months after that, Erica, and this is now into 2011, in May of 2011, Tyler Boyer is going to get unusually elected to the Board of Regents. And I say unusually because the governor, he kind of didn't go through the normal process, and the governor just decides Tyler Boyer's the guy. And then 4 months beyond that, Erica is going to enroll into ASU for her final year of college from 2011, 2012. And immediately 2 months after that, after the semester begins, she wins Miss Arizona USA, right, in November. And right after winning, we know she's going to establish this working partnership with the U.S. Marines Black Sea Rotational Force in Constanta, teaming up with them to run the Romanian Angels Project through her 501c3 Everyday Heroes. She's going to go out to Constanta. She's working with Colonel Otto Buscher, that same colonel who's going to be accused of trafficking and prostituting underage Romanians, apparently up and through Tel Aviv. And I do want to also say about that, in general, why did she partner with the U.S. Marines at all? That's not a requirement. Okay. I went to Romania twice. My best friend was Romanian and actually lived her family, like she grew up here, but her family lived in Constanta. You can just go do charity. You don't have to team up with the US Marines. This is a EU member state. Okay. You don't need the protection of US Marines to be in Romania and decide that you want to drop off some Christmas gifts. Really, you just need.
I don't know what I think about that one, Tracy, but hey, you're entitled to your own opinion. You know what I mean? I don't see it. I think she was really good friends with him, and she knew who he was. You know what I mean? And I don't think she really even wanted anything. She just wanted to grow.
Address to do that. But for some reason, this particular charity felt that they needed to team up with the US Marines. I just want to point, no one's really recognized that. You don't need to do that. I can go do charity anywhere in Europe right now. Doesn't demand a partnership with the US Marines. It's very strange. Then we have in 2014, 2015, Erica begins tweeting.
I love her timelines. I really do. Her timelines be clean and nice.
That she's a casting director or casting recruiter in Los Angeles. At the same time, she's kind of trying to break into the industry herself, which we've shown. And I also want to say that during this time that she's trying to get involved in reality TV, we find her floating around Mark Burnett. Mark Burnett is also running Mark Burnett Productions. He's running Trump's Apprentice show. A lot of synergy happening around this time. I do believe that Erica knew Donald Trump before she ever met Charlie Kirk. I think that's honestly evident. And so it really makes you wonder if this kind of brings in Colvette, because Kairos Company is working with Mark Burnett via Johnny Moore. It's very weird around this time frame, but it's this next little time frame that I want to get to you guys on. All right. So I'll tell you how I got this information. I had received a tip a while ago saying, hey, you know, their Next Model Management in New York City, Faith Cates, who was the co-founder of it, had to step down because of her involvement with Jeffrey Epstein. She's like in his emails like 4,000 times. Even after he got arrested for pedophilia, she's like, I will never betray you. I will never, ever betray you. Like, you know, I've got your back.
Wait a minute. Who's in this email? What'd that say? You're lying. Holy crap.
To the end. She was very close. I mean, look, she's inviting him here in this email.
Y'all see that title, right? Did Erica Kurt know Jeffrey Epstein? This is getting deep, y'all.
To her son's bar mitzvah. And this person said, just so you know, Erica was involved with Next Model Management, right? So this is a tip. And this person did not work with Next Model Management. So I was like, okay, tip, let's see where it leads, you know, kind of investigating things. And I kind of reach into some old contact cards. I'm going, that would be very curious, because Next Model Management apparently had tons of Eastern European girls all around the office. And like I said, you can look more into the Faith Cates thing, but it's not great. It's not great. The relationship that Faith Cates had with Jeffrey Epstein, Eastern European models all around Next Model Management office. He was helping this model agency in particular. And so I decided to see if I could get some more people to verify that Erica was involved. What was she doing? Was she modeling? No. Well, I was able to confirm it, not just once, not twice, 3 times, 4 times, with people with direct knowledge that Erica Kirk was multiple times taking meetings at Next Model Management and dealing with the people, like the suits that would surround Faith Cates, people like Jeffrey Epstein. Now, they did not say they saw her meeting with Jeffrey Epstein, but they said essentially Jeffrey Epstein was always.
So she was dealing with the same organization that Jeffrey Epstein was a part of and possibly even running. In 2015, 2017, 2014, 2015. Wow.
He's there because he was so close with Faith. This cannot be denied. You can go through their emails. They're very close. And so he would sometimes come in and he would take a meeting. And so he would just kind of, when you're friends with someone, I'm going to take an office, and nobody knew what the context of these meetings were. They are saying that in meetings like that, meaning Erica was not there because of a modeling contract or because they don't know why she was there. They don't know why Erica was in that same category of suits, right? Of just like suits, and they were not to ask questions, and Erica is there and she's taking meetings at Next Model Management. So now feeling 100% certain that this information was real, like I said, confirming it 4 ways, I decided to go out and ask Erica what she was doing there. Because if people with intimate knowledge of the situation don't know what she was doing there, that's not great, right? What are the chances? What does Erica have to do with Next Model Management? What is she doing there? And I went out to her.
Was named in what file? Tracy was named in what file? The Epstein files? What are you talking about?
And I, of course, copied the spokesperson, Andrew Colbert, and I said, what specifically were you doing at Next Model Management in New York City? What's up? What do you do? Did you run into Epstein? Like, I just want to know, like, what is your relationship with Faith? How about that? Give me the context of this. Crickets. I feel like that would be a very easy email to answer. One question: what is the context of your relationship with Next Model Management? We've now confirmed that you were taking meetings here. What was the nature of those meetings? And I mentioned, she's obviously had a falling out regarding she had to step down because of the Epstein emails, and she retired. She said it's like the nice way of, I'm deciding to retire. And nothing. Wouldn't you just answer that instantly? Like if someone just emailed me and said, what is the context? You're ASU, you got Romania going on, you're not this modeling agency. And they said like there were constantly Eastern European models all over the office. I mean, like it was just everywhere. And Epstein would just come all the time. Like, this was his friend. Why wouldn't he come into his friend's office? Wouldn't you like rank that really high in terms of just giving a comment and being like, oh, I was there for, I don't know what would be an appropriate answer. I literally don't know what would be appropriate answer. I don't know why I should be there, but wouldn't you just offer that answer if there was a good answer? I find it to be very strange. I find that to be very strange, especially when we now add in the fact, going back to the way that she's dancing around Epstein, pageant world, Romania, ASU. Now we have Next Model Management specifically, and real estate. We can't
keep that Next Model agents or Next Level model. Keep that in mind. That's going to be key.
An answer on that. Erica being the busiest person in the world in 2018, receiving degrees, starting and running a business, a clothing company, also taking interviews with Turning Point because she's going to help them, but then falling in love with Charlie. She also unusually receives her New York real estate license to work with.
Did y'all see that 1 year they said Erica got a master's degree, a real estate license, all this stuff in like 1 year? That's impossible. It's impossible. It's crazy. Just check it out. It was crazy.
Corcoran Real Estate. And that is under the stewardship of Pam Lehman. It featured in the Epstein files, was helping him with real estate deals. But also, we can't find any real estate deals that Erica completed in New York. And real estate agents are reaching out to me saying, you can't just get a license and work for Corcoran. That's not how the real estate world works. I guess they have certain requirements. They're like, this is backdoor stuff. Somebody just made that happen for her. And there does, like I said, does not appear to be any record of her having completed that. But we do then learn via Jeffrey Epstein's emails that the president of the Corcoran Group is actually Linda Rothschild. And Jeffrey Epstein is working directly for the Rothschilds. He himself is saying that Corcoran Real Estate Group is all over his emails. Okay. It says it right there. Someone read a background on Linda Rothschild. It has all of her different names that she uses and also has her listed as the president of the Corcoran Group. What was Erica doing for the Corcoran Group? Who got her that job?
Like the videos.
Who
guys,
recalls
like the
sitting with Erica for her real estate license? Is it? Do you do it online? I don't know. I'm ignorant about real estate license. I will say that, but I do know that there is a general understanding that if you want to move money, real estate is a very good way to do that. It's a very good way to do that. It's a good cover if you're trying to move money. Real estate's a very productive means to do that, and I am starting to have. Just how many times can her life path keep intersecting with Jeffrey Epstein before it's weird?
It's not
her relationship with Trump. Trump just like...
my mom always say, don't chase a lie down, live it down. But if it's showing some obvious things, it just is what it is. Everyone's not going to lie on you.
here. Something is not feeling right. Jeffrey, we got him gaslighting us. We got Andrew Colvett. We got this meeting at the White House that they didn't brag about. They love the photos. They love the photo ops. They're there the evening before, and they're in the West Wing. Yeah, they met with someone very important about, like, hey, can't you just come out and say what you were meeting about? What was the context of that meeting? I would like to know. I mean, you guys are saying everything else. Something is not right. That's almost redundant at this point, the fact that something is not right with Erica, but I would like an answer as to what specifically Erica was doing, sitting down in offices with suits at the next model management company. I think that's a very simple question to ask. There may be a very simple answer. We will see. We'll be right back after a brief break. All right, you guys, thanks to you, last year, Preborn helped to rescue over 80,000 babies. .com/Candace World. And the students have all messaged me about it because they don't want her there. And they similarly just feel like she's just being hoisted upon them. And you just go, the woman I'm speaking to, like that we're listening rather to her speak, is not a super genius. You didn't have to guess whether Charlie Kirk was a genius. You know what I mean? But they're just like, she is. She's so qualified, hyper qualified. We can't.
All right, with our poll, we're going to end our poll there. Do you think Erica Kirk has something to do with her husband's death? We got 62% said yeah, and we got 38% that says no. So I don't know, guys. That's why we're watching. But don't just believe what's told to you. Don't just believe it. Look behind the scenes. Look at what they're not talking about. Find other news sources, because there are other news sources out there that's not part of the cabal, and that's going to just keep you neutral in your thinking. You follow me? So I'm going to end this poll, and we'll start another here in a little bit.
Can't show you where on the resume where she's qualified, or how you go from like modeling agencies and dating reality shows and pageantry to where she is now, the Department of Defense. No one can explain that. And they don't even care to. It's giving Jeffrey Epstein when he just like becomes a math teacher and someone's pulling him from the ranks, and that someone is Bill Barr, right? Who gives him that job because he's running that school. Something's just really weird about everything. And I also wanted to tell you, this is kind of happening on X right now. Turning Point tried to remove it from the podcast. They did actually remove it from the podcast, but not before the internet grabbed it. It's this clip of Blake Neff. He's one of my favorite characters because he always just says too much and it's never good. And Blake Neff is explained on Charlie Kirk's show earlier today that Erica says that Charlie, if he had a chance, if he had a choice, he would stay dead. Take it away, Blake Neff.
Blake, any thoughts?
It's Erica said that if Charlie was given the choice to undo what happened and come back, he wouldn't, she thought, because of what was unleashed by it.
We tried to get like the full clip, but they've since removed that and make us like, that's just because of the faith revolution. And like, he would be so happy to see that people are being driven toward churches that he would pick. If he was in heaven and given, he would just say, I'm just going to stay here and I'm going to let my kids grow up without a father and really without a mother, because everything seems to be going according to some more divine plan. And Erica has taken my spot everywhere. Okay, let's talk about it. Let's actually talk about September 8th, because I now feel like, now that we've learned more about Erica, the Fort Huachuca story, I'm leaning towards Mitch. Allegedly, Erica, he saw her on September 8th, Fort Huachuca. It caused mass panic. They spent tons.
Hey, that Fort Huachuca story is crazy. I think after this one, we're gonna go through some things and gonna kind of do our own timeline. I think I'm gonna stay on here for a few hours. I'm feeling energetic tonight, so I think I'm gonna go for a long haul tonight, guys. So just rock with me, and we're gonna go through some interesting things. I got some things lined up for us.
Of money, getting people to attack me, and that now with everything we know about the way Erica moves, didn't really know in the beginning how to feel. But I'd like to add, I guess, just some more data points to September 8th. Now, remember, Erica's claim before they sent me a cease and desist was that she was making dinner for Charlie that night, but no one else has been able to independently confirm that. Frank Turek does make the claim that Charlie had dinner with his family, but he doesn't mention Erica. He doesn't say his wife. And I find that to be interesting because I think Frank Turek is actually a smarter person involved in this. He hasn't made the same mistakes as everybody else. He says just enough. So this could just as easily mean that Charlie had dinner with the kids. That's the vibe that I get from September 8th. We're going to go through this timeline is that Charlie was the parent that night. Listen to what Frank Turek had to say.
You know, the last walk we went on, Megan, was Monday night. So the terrible day was Wednesday. And so we spent some time Monday, and then we both went to dinner. He wanted to have dinner with the family, he's a family man. So he said, hey, can you come back at about 8? We'll go on a walk. I said, yeah, okay. So I came back down at 8, and I texted him. I said, okay, I'm about here. He said, coming out. And then a minute later, he said, shortly, Gigi just got up. So he was obviously taking care of the baby, taking care of his daughter, because that's the kind of person he was. And then we went on this long walk, and there were 2 major issues that kept coming up that he wanted to be better at.
So we received an email which made this even more interesting. I don't even know how I missed this, but they said, Candace, Charlie on September 8th was very obviously watching the Bears football game. He's a massive Chicago Bears fan. Everybody knows that. And it was like kind of always this feature on his show of him being upset with the chronic upsets that comes apparently with being a Chicago Bears fan. And he recounted with remarkable detail, at least, and this is again, I'm happy to yield and err on the side of caution, but I think we can confidently state that Charlie definitively.
For some reason, for me, every time somebody talk about Charlie Kirk that's in his circle, they sound so fake and disingenuous. They try to make it seem like it's magical and all. Like, I don't know. The human mind sees deceit. And to me, it just come across as deceitful how they talk and how it's just weird. Like I'm gonna watch one of them Erica Kurtz interviews and just watch how weird she is. Like, I don't know. It just seems so disingenuous and so phony and fake. Like it's almost like they playing in your face. It's crazy.
Watched the second half of that game glued to his screen. Take a listen to Charlie discussing the Bears game on September 8th.
Blake is such a Packers fan. He said, what should we talk about? Oh, talk about the Bears. I'm not talking about the Bears, okay? You see, I even put in my group chat. I said, the Bears are winning by 14 points. This is a very strange thing. I don't know how to handle it. The Bears put on a masterclass, one of the worst coach games in the history of football. It was so bad. They challenge in the second. You never do this in the second half. You should be smacked across the face. He challenged what was not even a close call of Noah Sewell, with a fumble. What happens when you lose a challenge? You lose a timeout. So you lose a timeout. You need to stop the clock. And they only have 2 timeouts left, and they can't do that. And then some rocket scientist on the Bears, I'm screaming at my TV. I woke up everyone. They decide, well, we have to kick the ball, and it was like 2 minutes and 2 seconds left, okay? And they're down by 3 points. 2 minutes, 2 seconds left. So with 2 minutes and 2 seconds left, you have to make sure that the ball either goes out of bounds or that
I'm a Bears fan. Go Bears! Bear down, baby.
You kick it off so they can't do a turn. You only have 1 timeout left. Why does that matter? Well, because then the 2-minute warning stops the clock, and that is a built-in timeout for when the Vikings run the ball inevitably. What do? They allow the Vikings to return the ball. They're basically ending the game.
I don't think there's any question that Charlie watched the second half of that game, and he says he was screaming at his TV. Okay. So we are now able to tighten up that schedule on September 8th. I'm going to show you guys what we have here going on. First and foremost, I do want to note that article appears in the Jezebel.com regarding the witches cursed placed on Charlie's life. That was at 9:49 a.m. All of this is in Arizona time, just to be clear. 9:49 a.m. that article appears in Jezebel regarding a witch's curse that was placed on Charlie. Exactly 1 hour later, to the minute, Erica breaks her years-long Twitter silence, and she tweets out a Bible verse, Ephesians, for by grace you have been saved through faith. Okay. At 10 o'clock a.m., Charlie appears from his home studio live on Charlie Kirk. That is what that's a different episode, not the one that we just watched, 45 a.m., Lori France-Fay has an appointment at the clinic, and Charlie allegedly meets up with her, accompanies her. These appointments apparently run for an hour. So Charlie and Lori are together. From 4 o'clock to 5 o'clock p.m., Charlie appears from his home studio on the Ingram angle. There was that notorious picture going around where Charlie looked angry, like he was looking off to the side. Well, he's got to be looking at Frank Turek. I would suspect, based on this timeline, that Frank Turek was with him. That would track that he's, because it's getting tight now. The game is about to kick off. Erica's her alibi is going to be she arrived home. And so, yeah, you guys, everyone investigating this should now copy this timeline. I think Frank Turek was with Charlie. I'm not saying Charlie was angry at Frank, but I still don't believe Frank's story that they went on a walk to talk about pointers about how Charlie would debate and college. I never bought that he was just suddenly in need of so much debate help. I think there was some.
Right, like he did this for a living. Now all of a sudden he needs help on what he's going to say to the college students that he's been talking to for the last 10 years.
Thing going on. There was some sort of a crisis that required Charlie speaking to a rabbi, a pastor, and a priest within 48 hours. I think that's a fair assumption to make. Erica, and again, Frank has never said these portions about dinner. He says dinner with the family. But Erica will allege that she arrives home at 5:24. And then at 5:41, Charlie is allegedly, as she's coming up, she's already upstairs. Charlie then's allegedly going to text her and ask her what time dinner is, despite being in close quarters. Erica is then, because it's a very small apartment, wake Gigi up by opening a fridge in the middle of the night. Charlie is then going to text Erica and ask, like I said, what time dinner is. And then Erica is going to text Charlie that dinner is ready. So this is a fast dinner. I have to fit in everything.
I swear I love her timelines. Her timelines are so thorough and so in depth. Like, I love her timelines.
And then you can kind of see we've gone through and went back to the game, followed people's tweets of when exactly Noah Sewell forced a fumble on TJ. That's what he's talking about there. And you can see that this timeline is starting to tighten up. So I wanted to share this with you because I have a strong inkling, and it is not a fact, but it is a strong inkling that Charlie was at home alone with the kids. That is why when he woke Gigi up, it would track that he went to have dinner with his kids and his quote unquote family. And that is why when he was shouting at the TV, which would in fact wake a toddler up around, when is he shouting at the challenge around 7:16, that he then screaming at the game, whenever Gigi wakes up, he then tells Frank, hold up, because the Chicago game is on, which Frank hasn't mentioned that, which I find to be interesting. Might be a talking point of why he was running late. But this is it's getting interesting. It's definitely getting interesting. That game ended at 8:30, so he definitely was not walking with Charlie at 8 o'clock because he is very clear that he was screaming. And then he comes down a little bit late. Charlie is then going to be seen at 9 o'clock walking with his bodyguard Heath and accompanied by a tall man who is not Frank Turek. So locals did not see Frank Turek on this walk with Charlie. They did see Charlie on a walk. He stopped. He spoke with his neighbor for a few minutes about his upcoming tour, said hello to the dog. Yeah. My suspicion is Frank was there for some reason. It's not, you don't just like sort of invite a pastor over and then say, come back. And there's something going on. There's something going on. And I think Frank would know the answer. I think Frank could answer, by the way. I will get an email out to him as to whether or not he was the person that was in Charlie's studio when he looks off to the left before the Laura Ingram hit. And I think Frank could actually answer whether or not Erica was home. It's a yes or no question. Was Erica home? Did you see Erica? Nobody yet. And I will keep putting out an APB for September 8th for Erica.
I do too,
no
Crystal.
one can confirm
I stand with
seeing
Candace
her
as well.
anywhere.
Subscribe if you
She's
don't
very
mind.
well known in this neighborhood. Charlie's
I
entire
stand
family
with
is
her
well
as
known.
well.
People will tell me when they see the kids, who they saw the kids with, that they saw the kids with Tracy Martin's husband. I mean, you could say any person they know, because Charlie Kirk was a celebrity. He was a fixture. So they knew his family, they knew his kids. And no one can confirm that they saw Eric Kirk on the 8th. And I'm troubled by that. Even anywhere. When they went to go pick up the food from the grocery store. I don't know. Given how much she pathologically lies, And given how aggressive the campaign was when we merely mentioned Fort Huachuca, and I had not yet dropped the fact that he thought he saw Erica, we were actually holding that back. And then she does this tour and gets like real aggressive and just stop. My vibes.
I thought that was the worst move that Candace that Erica could have done, going on that tour after Charlie passed away without locking into motherhood and locking into really, doing what you got to do. And to be in the back front and to mourn the way, and everyone grieves differently, so I'm not judging her on the way that she grieved. I remember going through some dreadful things in my life, and I wanted to stay busy to keep my mind not focused on what was going on in my life personally. So I kind of understand to stay busy so you won't be overwhelmed with dread and overwhelmed with your emotions on what happened. But at the same time, it just looked bad how she did it. And then to be such an unauthentic person that you can literally tell. We're gonna watch one of her interviews after this, just to see how she comes across, and we're gonna see how it makes us feel as we look at it. I'm pretty sure you guys will get a certain type of vibe from it. But yeah, so I just disagree with that either. I just disagree with that as well.
My spidey senses are telling me that Erica was not there on the 8th. I find her pretending not to understand the instructions or the middle person, what we're trying to get to confirm that this text correspondence really took place between her and Charlie and not her and somebody else or two other people. I don't buy it. I don't buy anything really that Erica says. She lies a lot. And I think we've proven that thus far. Anyway, we'll take a break here and I'll answer some of your questions. All right, you guys, if you are looking to get ahead of your spring cleaning this year, I know right where you should begin. Go drag your old wireless contract out of the closet and toss it in the trash. Then freshen things up by switching to Pure Talk, which is my wireless company.
So let's move on. We're gonna go to one of her interviews. And I know the one I want to see that I thought was horrible. So this interview came across this was shortly after. This was shortly after that Charlie had passed away. So let's watch a little bit of this one.
To the younger generations, he could talk to a donor group, he could talk to the President of the United States.
Charlie and Erica first met through their mutual friend, the now COO of Turning Point, Tyler Boyer. Erica, a college athlete and former Miss Arizona, had graduated from Arizona State University. She was living in New York City. And Tyler had what he thought was the perfect job for her.
He said, we have this youth.
Y'all hear that? Tyler got her the job with Charlie. And did you know Tyler Robinson was in Romania when Erica was in Romania, back when she was doing the thing with the kids and her foundation?
Organization, would love to get you involved. I briefly met Charlie for maybe 2 minutes. Quick handshake. Hi, nice to meet you. Mind you, I did not know after that brief meeting that Tyler and Charlie had sat down and Tyler was like, this is the girl that I need to hire for something with regard to the faith component of.
It's exhausting watching her. Just all that, the look, the phony smile, and I'm such in glee. It all looks fake to me. It just all looks fake.
The outreach that they were trying to start. And he was like, so next time you're in New York, you really should sit down with her. And then that kind of sparked into everything else.
They did end up having that meeting in New York, and what started as a job interview quickly drew the spark that Erica was.
And you look at them, you can even tell they don't even look like Charlie wouldn't. And I don't want to come across as judgmental. Look at her and look at Charlie. She was placed in Charlie's life. That's my belief. She's a plant. She was placed in. She would have never chose. Look at her. All of her old ex-boyfriends. They're all athletes, big, bulky type dudes. She would have never dated Charlie. Erica is a wolf. She was after power. She seen the power in Charlie. It wasn't love. It wasn't care. I don't even think them his kids. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Was talking about.
And so then we had a great time, and it was about 15 minutes in, I quickly pivoted away from wanting to hire her to wanting to date her. And now we know how that worked quite well.
He grilled me for hours. Grilling is probably not the proper term, but we debated back and forth. Philosophy, politics, theology, anything that Charlie loved to talk about, we talked about it. And afterwards, he was done eating and he just looked at me and he goes, you know, I'm not going to hire you. And I said, I did not need the job. I said, I was fine with consulting with you guys if you needed anything with regard to help. I have plenty of things going on in New York City. He said, I'm going to date you. I said, you don't want to just be friends for a little bit.
And I told her I had enough.
She told you right there, I didn't want to date him. I didn't want to date him. But she was there on official duty. They sent her to him. Yeah, we got somebody. You see, this didn't happen just by chance. Tyler, within Turning Point USA, set this up. Here, we're going to give him a wife. This is what you need. Here you go, Charlie. We got a pretty Barbie doll for you. There you go. You would have never been able to get this without us.
Friends, and that I didn't want to be friends with her, so that was kind of a non-starter. But if she wanted to date, that would be great. I had enough friends, and I think she still finds that to be very funny, but I meant it.
And I tried to process that on the walk home, and that's when I called my mom.
That's a lie. She don't walk nowhere.
She was like, oh, are you working with them? Are you going to get a job with them? And I was like, no, but I got a boyfriend. And it was a...
Really? Oh, I go on an interview single and I walk out with a boyfriend? Really? This is a bad analogy. It's kind of like the pornos where the guy go in to help with the sink and the lady in the house just make love to him. I want to cuss, but I'm working on that. So that sounds so unauthentic.
Moment, I literally had to walk home to process everything that just happened because, again, the Lord knew that I needed a man that was going to be so assertive, not play games, not say, yeah, let's just be friends and see how it goes. Let's just talk it out. No, he was so direct. He was so clear. I want to date you with the intention of marrying you. He didn't want to waste his time. He didn't want to waste mine.
When did you know you were in love?
He knew immediately. And I knew there was something there.
Ugh! That's what I feel. I feel like it drives me nuts how fake she is. You know what? I think she's a psychopath. She is incapable of feeling anything. Everything she says right now sounds fake. Sorry. It sounds fake. It's driving me crazy.
But I, prior to that, was praying that if he was to be my future husband, that the Lord would make it so clear that I would have such a peace about it, outside of it wearing a suit, outside of work-related events. And he just was amazing.
Crystal, would you like to be a moderator?
Turning Point meant a lot too.
Let me know.
This campus was just 2 buildings at the time, but the organization was already well on its way to becoming a force in American politics.
You know, it's funny about leftists on college campuses. They think they're being rebels, yet all their friends are liberal, their teachers are liberal, the music they listen to is liberal, the textbooks they read are liberal, the entire culture they live in is liberal. They're being conformists. If you want to be a rebel on campus, be a conservative on a college campus. There's nothing rebellious about that.
He would just engage with everything, that there was no separation between his work life and his home life. And I was so proud of him. And I would tell him, baby, you don't have to rush home. When you come home, home is waiting for you. I was never the type of wife that looked at my phone and said, okay, you better be home at 5 o'clock for dinner when I have it.
Yeah, because you had other stuff going on. You had other boyfriends. You had other people hollering at you. You was good. You ain't need Charlie. Charlie, stay on a 50-day tour. Go travel each state. I'm cool. Me and our babies and my boyfriend.
On the table. Never. I said, home is here for you when you get home. Dinner will be ready whenever.
Also, the poll. Do you think Erica is qualified to run TP USA? 75% says no. 25% says yes. I'm going to end that poll, and I got another one coming.
Where you're ready to eat, I will never make you feel guilty for pursuing what the Lord has put on your heart.
Did you know right away that Charlie was destined for something larger than life?
Charlie has a great disposition about him. So I knew that he was never going to be just, he operated, everyone knew this, the way he operated his life, he wasn't going to waste time. He wasn't going to waste the one life that the Lord has blessed him with. When you get married to someone you love, you never think, oh, I mean, at least we didn't, what our future was going to look like. It's not that you sign up for something. You just marry the love of your life, and however that unfolds, it unfolds. And we both have very similar understandings, and I knew, obviously I knew his life would be important. All of our lives are important, but all I cared about was loving him and being a wife to him, being a mother to his children. That to me was so much more important. Everything else I could care less.
Charlie was so disciplined. He had his routine.
I know.
He worked out.
He did.
He did his reading.
Yeah.
Are you now stepping into that?
Him and I are very similar from the standpoint of making yourself a better person as life goes on. We all live many lives, and we all are constantly trying, at least Charlie and I, we're constantly trying to improve ourselves. We always worked out. We had the same trainer because him and I are athletes. It always goes back to the basic and simple things. He loved eating clean. He loved all of that stuff. But something that was so powerful about Charlie is that he mastered self-control. He mastered.
I don't know, Crystal. Hey, it was somebody. I don't know. It sure in the hell wasn't me. Crystal over there killing y'all. Tell him again, Crystal.
He would say, know your nature. He mastered that. He perfected that. From the standpoint of, yes, he was very hard on himself. I have the journals to prove it. Very hard on himself. But he held himself to such a high standard because he wanted the people that were around him to be better also. And he wasn't going to be a leader that told people what to do and not do it.
He worked so hard.
He did.
He was the hardest working person in my business I've ever seen. Was that hard for you guys to balance that work and the family?
So when we first started dating and when we were first married, we would travel everywhere together. We were on the road 350 some days out of the year. And then once we had our first child, it was an adjustment period because I wanted to be home with our little one, but he was so good about always wanting to come home. Always wanted to come home. And I wanted to make sure that he wanted to come home. Again, that's why I never said, what are you doing? Why are you gone? Why are you traveling so much? I never had those questions because.
So she acted like they had such a, like they never argued, they never fought. Oh, it was just all bliss. Erica, you're human and he's human. He's very opinionated. You seem like a boss babe. So I know y'all clashed more than you want to admit to. So stop acting like that.
I knew his heart and I knew what he was doing was so important. And he always included me in it. And there were times where I would go to his events and there were times where I wouldn't, but it was a family-oriented mission. So I never once was threatened by that because I was a part of it.
He wrote you letters. Charlie wrote you letters.
I know.
Every week?
Every Saturday. So he would turn his phone off to honor the Sabbath.
I hooked you up, Crystal. You see it?
Come in, open the junk drawer. Everyone has a junk drawer. Open the junk drawer, said Shabbat Shalom, put it in there, turn the phone off, slam the door, and he felt
Even though you didn't have to
so
feel like you'd be
free
good for the team.
because
Thank
he
you.
was unreachable for 24, 48 hours.
Did you see Charlie change in the 7 years that you knew him? How did he change?
When he became a father, and you know this, when you become a parent, it changes you. When you become a husband or a wife, it changes you. I mean, being on the altar and making a covenant with the Lord and saying, this is my person, it changes you. You become one. Everything becomes one. Nothing is separated. And it was just powerful because I got to see him grow, not just in wisdom. He read a lot of books, wisdom, but he grew in patience. And you can see that on campus too. You see the evolution of him going from holding the mic all the time to then putting it down, taking a sip of his tea, throwing in a throat coat, and just listening. You could see how he evolved into this incredible man who he mastered himself.
He became more tranquil as he grew older.
He did, and that was a huge testament to his faith because he realized more.
Stop patting your eyes. You're not crying. Nothing's there. No emotions whatsoever.
And more, this is not about Charlie Kirk.
Is there one thing that you know about Charlie that no one else knows that you want to share?
Okay. So he would name all of my daughters and my son's stuffed animals, every single one of them. His favorite animal was the platypus.
He's making stuff up.
It's so random.
And I'm sorry, you guys. I know I sound harsh, but I just don't buy her. I don't buy her. Whatever she's selling, I don't want none of it. I don't want none of it. And what's crazy, when I first seen it, I was like, oh my gosh, she's beautiful. This, that, and third. And then I start seeing her. Oh, no. That's the ones you'd be like, stay away from me. Stay away from me.
But it's so funny because it was such a utility animal. And it's not even an animal you would think of. And I remember when I went to the San Diego Zoo with my daughter, and we found my platypus shirt there, and I had her put it on, and Charlie was like,
she's so disconnected. My child. What?
How did you find that shirt? And I was like, we just so happened to go to the zoo, and they had a platypus. He was blown away.
I'm glad we didn't embarrass him too much there.
Yeah.
We saw these clips go viral afterwards about him being a father.
Mm-hmm.
Let's look at some of those.
Okay. It's so fun. That was a great day. Oh.
So we're here at Bill's Burgers in New York City. And right near this very table was the first time Dad met Mama. And it started as a job, and I was asking all these questions, philosophy, religion, Jesus.
So fun. He was so fun.
What kind of relationship did he have with each child?
Stop patting your cryless eyes. Stop it. You look retarded. Sorry, that's the wrong word. You look special. Stop it.
When you ask that, I can't get this image out of my head of, this feeling too, where you see your husband come home, or you as the father come home, and the kids just run to you. His relationship with them was so precious because they're so little. So it's not like you're teaching them these amazing things, but somehow he still found a way to incorporate it in little ways. But his relationship with them was so pure and precious because you see him being on stage in front of thousands of people, commanding the presence, telling them all about Western civilization, telling them all about what's going on in the world, telling them why they should care. And then you see him come home and just be a dad. Go play with them in the pool. Love on them. Tickle them. Play with them. Like, even if it was just with his stuffed animals. Play with them.
What do you see of him in
the kids? It's funny because my son loves to throw balls and baseball bat and footballs. And my sweet daughter, she's starting now to want to say little speeches. So we all are sitting there to listen. But you know what's so sweet is that my daughter's starting to want to put our son to bed at night.
Y'all, I never watched this interview, so this is my first time watching this with you guys, and it's a little older, but man, I feel like this is a game. I feel like this is a made up story of someone just making stuff up, just randomly. Someone that she should have known in depthly, and she's so surface with speaking on him. Like, it's sad almost. It's almost sad. All the truth that Charlie went around the world giving to people that he thought what was his truth? Because some of the things that he said I did not like and I did not agree with, but he was boldly doing that all around the world. And for this person to be one of the ones that's supposed to know him the best and speak about him on such a surface level, it's almost sickening and it's almost sad. He was deceived by this lady. He was deceived by her.
In his crib. And so it's very meticulous of how it's done. So it's a little bit Charlie of like making sure that it's the right rhythm. And we put him in the crib. And then I say, okay, mommy's leaving. And she sits there and I just watch her on this video of singing Jesus Loves Me to him. And that's the song that Charlie would sing to her. Never said, okay, now you need to sing that to your brother. So I feel like it's little moments like that where I'm like, that's you, Charlie. That's you. You're there.
You're very protective of your children's privacy.
Yes.
As Charlie's profile grew, were you concerned?
We live in a day and age where the internet feels so entitled to everything. Why are you doing this? Why are you doing that? You know,
why we never had an autopsy report? Why is he buried at a disclosed location? Like, answer these questions. Now, don't talk about the internet being intrusive now. You made millions from the internet. Now what's the problem? Stop it.
Explain this, explain that. And we live in a world where children don't even have a childhood anymore. You know, why are you posting a photo of your kids so that you can get $50 off a stroller? Like, that does not make sense to me.
Crazy.
If you can't afford a stroller, buy one you can afford. Like, that makes sense to me. But to use your child,
you're almost a billionaire. You shouldn't talk about money. You're not a normal person.
or a photo of you standing in the bathroom embracing them specifically, and you have 500 copies of that same pose so you can get it right for social media, is bizarre to me. And it was to Charlie too. And our babies are not for anyone else's viewing other than ours and our family. And why would I want AI images of my children out there? Why would I want, and yeah, we get kidnapping threats. We always have. We get death threats. We always have. You're just smart about it.
Kidnapping threats.
Protect what you love.
So people, this lady makes my stomach hurt.
Protect who you love.
I want to show you a video of Charlie talking about TPUSA.
Okay.
Well, you're about to embark on something that is much bigger than yourself. This is about us. This is about the country. And the eyes of the whole nation are again on Turning Point. We're building something bigger than you, bigger than me. We're building an experience to help save the country. And if this type of intensity bothers you, well, then don't go work for Turning Point USA. You can go work for the Department of Labor or something, okay? Because here we do excellent things. We do big things. We make history here at Turning Point USA. It's going to be early mornings. It's going to be late nights. But you all get to know that you're doing something rewarding. That is not just, a career, you check the box, but lives will be changed. How blessed are we that we get to be here celebrating the country, and this is our job. It's pretty awesome. There's the one thing that I hear from speakers throughout all the years. Your team is so impressive, and they're so young. Why is it, everybody? Because for us, we hold ourselves to a higher standard. This is not just another DC gig. This is about saving Western civilization.
It's the longest video I've watched of him. Just give me a second. Take your time.
You ain't crying. I'm gonna take your time. You ain't crying.
Charlie was on a mission to save Western civilization.
That's
Did you know that's what you signed up for?
Well, no, I didn't sign up for anything. I just married the love of my life. Just so happens that that's what he was doing.
Tell me about the day before the shooting.
He was at the office and we were going to meet for dinner beforehand with a dear friend of ours who I wanted to just be with us and pray with us before the event. It's no hidden secret that stuff on campus is heating up. You see people on campus coming on with guns prior to the event that happened with Charlie, the assassination with Charlie. And so I know that, you know, you and I even talked about how I used to say, you know, Charlie, have you ever thought about wearing a vest? He would nod to that and be like, you know, I've looked into it. But he would always say, if they're going to get me, they're going to get me. He wasn't afraid. Wouldn't have mattered anyways if you wore a vest.
Erica's mom was dealing with a medical issue, so she stayed in Phoenix to care.
I guess it wouldn't matter if you told him to hit him in the neck or hit him in the head. No, it wouldn't have mattered if he wore a vest.
Care for her. She planned to join Charlie at the next scheduled Turning Point event at Colorado State just a few days later.
He was like, home needs you. Home needs you. Be home. Come with me on Thursday to the next event we have. And so for him that night, he was so excited. I mean, he just was like, I can't wait. It's going to be the best. And he got up around 2:45, 3-ish to go into the kitchen to grab a snack. And our daughter had woke up around that same time. We live in a small space, so you can kind of hear when everyone's kind of shuffling around. And so she came to our room.
Can somebody tell me what she's wiping off her face? Can somebody help me? Can somebody tell me what she's wiping off her face? I just want to know. What's she wiping off her face?
Room, and she stayed in our bed. And he always loved when Gigi slept in our bed because she's, you know, little ones, they like curl up inside of you and like they're just nuzzled in. But you also know that it can be very acrobatic when a 3-year-old is in your bed and somehow their feet end up on your face. So I said, I want you to have a good night's sleep. Go ahead and sleep in her room. And I'll turn the air down so it's nice.
I want you to have a good night's sleep. The night before he dies now. I want you to have a good night's sleep. Sleep in your daughter's room. Okay.
Nice and cozy in there. And I just want you to get a good night's sleep so you can be amazing tomorrow. And so Gigi and I stayed in our room. And that morning he woke up super early and he came into our bedroom, into the bathroom, because that's where his wedding ring was and his necklace. And he came in and he grabbed that. And then he left. I didn't even get to give him a kiss goodbye.
When we return,
he was at peace. And I gave him a kiss. One of the hardest moments of my life was leaving him in that room.
I want to take a moment to talk about a partner we're proud to stand with,
Shut
Good
up.
Ranchers.
I don't like you either. Daughter!
Got it. I moved my mom. I went back to grab my phone, and that's when Mikey started calling me. He called me within seconds.
I called Erica. I just remember it rang like 3 or 4 times.
Oh my God!
I didn't know what to say.
John going nuts. All this look fake to me. Even when he's doing. Oh my God. I called. When you care about someone, truly care about someone, you don't have to act. And all this stuff seems like an act to me. Daughter, can you call Miracle back in?
Words that will change someone's life forever, and you have to be the one to say it. That was the first time I've ever called her during a campus tour stop.
And so Mikey called me, and I'll never forget him just being like, Charlie's been shot. He's been shot. Get the kids. Get security. Get the kids. Get the kids. He's been shot. I sprinted out of her treatment center. Just collapsed in the middle of the parking lot. Called our security. Yeah. Unbelievable nightmare.
She don't feel anything, y'all.
The communications direct.
She don't. I lost kids back in the 90s. And if I talk about them now, I'll get emotional. Because I love them. Those were my kids. I lost a total of 3 kids. All from my wife has a misshaped uterus. So I had two boy, one boy, he never made it out the hospital. One was a miscarriage and one died of SIDS. I found him in his crib. And I'm emotional to this day about them. And just to see their emotions towards someone that they say that they love and they care about, it just it doesn't fit with me. It don't work. I feel like someone is being a fraud towards me. Someone's trying to piss on me and tell me it's raining. Same analogy, and I know it's a horrible analogy, but that's really how I feel when I look at these people and how they talk about Charlie as if they really cared. When in all actuality, this was all a plan, and it sucks.
Director of Turning Point USA has asked our team to give, and so we are going to do that right now. We're going to pause and offer our prayer. We hope you join along.
Thank you, Doc.
However, and to whomever you pray, I hope in this moment that you can pray for Charlie Kirk.
There was a moment there where people thought Charlie would survive.
Mm-hmm. There were so many things going on at that one moment. It was so hard to actually.
How you gonna survive a so-called 30-06 now? Shot to your neck. How you gonna survive that? But that's how you know it was in 30-06. You know what Charlie got shot with? I'm gonna show you what Charlie got shot with. This is what Charlie got shot with, y'all. Charlie got shot with one of these. One of these, a 9mm bullet. Now, I got this loaded, so hold on. This is what Charlie got shot with. Right here. Something like that. That's a hollow point 9mm bullet. A 30-06 bullet. I have an AR upstairs. A 30-06 bullet is even bigger. You know what I'm talking about? But I'm gonna let this play. I'm gonna come back and show you a 30. I'll be right back.
Know and hear what was going on, because you're getting phone calls in and out, and hindsight, the way the bullet hit him, he died instantaneously.
He was pronounced dead.
He died on the scene. But I'm so glad he didn't suffer. Excuse me. I'm so glad he didn't suffer. No one deserves to suffer. But him, of all people. So he literally blinked and probably thought he was raptured and looked around and was like, where's everybody else? He blinked and he was with the Lord.
And you wanted to see Charlie immediately and came up. Take us through that.
We landed in Utah, went straight to the hospital. When you walked in, everyone was it was a scene from just a horror movie. Everyone is so rattled to the core. Officers, hospital workers, our team, everyone is just shaken. And we get into the room. One of the law enforcement guys comes in. It's very sweet, but what do you say to someone whose husband just was assassinated so publicly? I said, I've been doing this for 30-some years. He said, I will never tell you that you cannot see your husband. He said, but I, in my professional opinion, think that you should wait to see him once he's at the mortuary. Because I don't think you want to see him like this. The room got quiet because half the room knew it's probably a good idea.
Now, like I said, this is what Charlie got shot with. This is a 5.56, right? This is a 5.56. So compared to this and this would have took his head off. And this is smaller than a 30-06. This is what he got hit with. So yeah, like I don't get it. They just keep lying to us and want us to be like, oh yeah.
And the other half of the room was like, there is no way she's listening to you right now.
Monique, that's a fact. That's a fact. Look, what's even crazy about it? Oh, I had to call the security and all this womp womp and womp womp and womp womp. I don't want to hear none of that. You're lying.
And I responded back to him and I said, with all due respect, sir, I said, I want to see what they did to my husband. And I want to give them a kiss.
Look. Y'all see that? Look.
Give
Hold on. Go. I gotta go back. Y'all look. Watch this. Look.
to someone whose husband just was assassinated so publicly. I said, I've been doing this for 30 some years.
Watch this.
He said, I will never tell you that you cannot see your husband. He said, but I, in my professional opinion, think that you should wait to see him.
Look. Look at her look.
Once he.
What that to me? What is that? That's I don't know what that is. That's scary.
He's at the mortuary. Because I don't think you want to see him like this. The room got quiet because half the room knew it's probably a good idea. And the other half of the room was like, there is no way she's listening to you right now. And I responded back to him and I said, with all due respect, sir, I said, I want to see what they did to my husband. And I want to give him a kiss because I didn't get to give him a kiss this morning.
Lying. You shouldn't have argued
And I
with him.
said the same thing to the doctor.
You shouldn't have argued with him and set him in Gigi's room for the night. Talking about some, I want you to get a good sleep tonight. Go in your daughter's room. What? Yeah, that's why. You argued with him last night.
When the doctor came in, I said, I want to see my husband. He said, I'll make sure that happens. And I did. And I got to see him. And when we walked into that room, he still looks so alive. I mean, because he just, and I'm just so glad.
In any normal world, Monique, yes, you're right. In any normal case across the United States of America and anywhere else, the first prime suspect in a murder of a person is the person closest person to them, unless they create a ploy and it completely, totally eliminates the spouse as being a part of it, which is bullshit because she needs to be brought in. She needs her phone records checked. We want to know. We want to, because she has alibi. She not alibis, but she has motive. What's her motive, guys? Her motive is take over Turning Point USA, become a powerful woman like you always wanted to be. Change Charlie Kirk's message to what was that damn book she was going Shabbat Shalom. What the hell? Charlie was a Christian. He wasn't no what?
And I saw him because you know this when you see someone pass at the mortuary. They never look the same when they're at the mortuary. They have this awful makeup and they're cold, and he was still warm and his eyes were slightly open. But it was so powerful, Jesse.
That wasn't powerful. It was so powerful, Jesse. No! You have no power. You're a fraud.
He had this smirk on his face. It was so sweet. He had this smirk on his face.
And she still can't cry, y'all. She still can't cry because she has no emotional attachment. She still's not crying. If my wife died, y'all, and somebody wanted to have an interview with me about my wife dying, I will almost be incapable of doing that interview. I'm sorry. I will almost be incapable of doing that interview. Snotting. But, like, I'm thinking about my wife dying is making me emotional right now. What?
Where it meant three things to me. First, that he died doing what he loved.
Emma Raven, I agree. I 100% agree.
Second was that he was.
And she's still not crying.
I gave him a kiss.
Okay, I see a tear in the inside of her eye right there.
Gave him a kiss.
You've been working hard just to get that one.
And then before I left the room, which was one of the hardest moments of my life, was leaving him in that room.
As fine as she is, as beautiful as she disgusts me. That just lets you know it ain't about being pretty. Being a human matters. Having something in you matters. She's a pretty devil to me. A Jezebel.
Excuse me.
Excuse me. For what?
I thought to myself, that smirk to me is that look of you thought you could stop what I've built. You thought that you could end this vision, this movement, this revival. You thought you could do that by murdering.
All right, we're going to end this poll. Do you think Erica comes across as a fake person? 79% says yes. 21% says no. I'm going to end this poll. We'll start another one shortly.
Me. You got my body. You didn't get my soul.
Do you know how many transgender Americans have been mass shooters over the last 10 years? Too many.
By that time, the video was everywhere. How do you process that?
I never saw the video. I never will see it. I never want to see it. There's certain things you see in your life that you can never unsee. There's certain things you see in your life that mark your soul forever. I don't want my husband's public assassination to be something I ever see. I don't want my kids to ever see that. And for people who actually enjoy watching that, which is quite literally sick, what if that was your father or your brother or your sister? There's a perspective shift there. We're human. Life is fragile. And there is so much beauty in this world. Why would you waste any portion of your life looking at something so evil?
Charlie was answering a question about trans violence when he was murdered. Do you think that was a coincidence?
I don't believe in coincidences.
Do you think they've caught your husband's killer?
So
hell no.
Something I'm so
heck no. That dude, y'all see, y'all hold on. This dude is not the killer. Oh, y'all can't see it, can you? No, sorry. But he ain't, what's his name? What's his name? What they call his name is? Tyler Robinson? No, that ain't Tyler Robinson, is it? What the heck his name is? He ain't the shooter. I'm trying to figure everybody up. What's his name? I'm trying. What's his name? I want to find out his name. What's his name? More. Oh, here go. Yeah. Hey, y'all know what to do with her. Tyler Robinson. Y'all know what to do with her.
so grateful for is that we have one of
We're gonna send you
the
on vacation, little mama.
most incredible teams.
We're gonna send
for
you
this
on
case.
vacation.
I would never
Tell you how I will never
wish it
lose
upon
again.
anybody to have to go through what we are going through. To have seen the autopsy report, to have seen the different evidence portions that have been collected.
Hey, moderators, handle y'all business, moderators.
I trust our team.
1, 2, 3. She want to
There's
get out of
other
here.
theories swirling around about Charlie's assassination.
Right.
How does that make you feel?
When everything happened, my phone died and became a black hole. I just didn't turn it on for weeks on
Take
end.
your ass a time out.
I've intentionally
We don't need you over
insulated
here.
myself.
Where my moderators at? I got any moderators in the building. Y'all see people talking like that? Get them out of here. She on timeout now. I'm talking about how I come across her news feed. Keep going. There's a million channels you can go to. We over here doing our thing.
Because I need to guard my heart, and I need to be there for my kids, and I need to be there for Turning Point. And what I've realized through all of this is that everyone grieves differently. Everyone is trying to figure out.
You already know.
And I don't blame them. How does this happen? How does somebody become so radicalized where they can justify this in their own head? We just lost one of the greatest voices of our generation.
Even in her voice, she said, "Oh my gosh, she just sounds so unauthentic." She didn't care about that man. She didn't care about that man at all.
Why? How? What's behind it? Like, everyone's trying to process this. And I respect that.
Because you got to cover up. 171. You got to cover it up. That's what she did. All this was a ploy. All this was set in stone before whatever the 10th when he got assassinated. All this was already set in stone. They already had this plotted. She wanted to be the boss babe. We got to not see. This is what happened. Charlie said, "I'm not finna be bought." Israel came by me. The Zionists came by me. I'm gonna speak truth. I'm a Christian. I'm rocking with it. Eric was like, "Nah, babe, I think you should do it this way." He's like, "No, I'm the man. I'm doing it this way." And she said, "All right, I got something for you." And that's what she got for him.
But where my heart is just asking for some grace is for the ones who were there that day. They have to relive that every single day. He didn't die in a car accident. He didn't die from cancer. He was assassinated. And the difference between this and previous assassinations in this country is there was no social media. There was no AI. I can tell you how many fake images are out there of all of this. And again, my only request is that just please pray and consider and think about whatever you put online, because it's going to impact his kids in the future. I don't want my kids to go on the internet one day when they're older and see things that it's just, we're all trying to process this in their own way, and I appreciate that. But just some grace would be nice.
Do you feel safe?
I do.
I bet you do feel safe. You got a whole freaking country behind you,
with my
and a
husband.
bunch of sleeper cells.
And I don't say that to be reckless.
Safe.
I do not. I do not say that because I'm out in the streets like, here I am, come find me. And it's not at all. It's a fearlessness that's rooted in the understanding that I will have my day and my time, whenever that is. When the Lord knows that I've completed my mission. And I'm not afraid. Charlie wasn't afraid either. We never
see about you, Erica. You better get all your ducks in a row, because police coming to see about you, Jack.
And I can't help.
But then again, maybe not. Don't nothing happen to elites. They just get outed and get embarrassed. But I don't even want to have that type of money to where I got to do strange and weird stuff just to feel normal. Our country is ran by a bunch of pedophiles, and man, it's sick. But nothing happens to them. Why ain't nobody got arrested for these Epstein files? Not nobody. Let us get 5 tickets and we going to jail. Let us be late on child support payments 3 years. You ain't gonna have no license. You're gonna be a felon and you going to jail. But they can sacrifice people and do all this weird stuff, and they get to run the country and make up rules and regulations and functionalities, and they get held accountable for nothing. It's crazy.
Run alongside this mission of Turning Point USA and raise my babies with fear. I can't. That's not a life to live for anybody.
What's the hardest part of your day?
The nighttime, always.
You're a lie. Your boyfriend over at your house at nighttime. Stop lying to these people. That other dude that worked for Charlie, he's knocking your back out.
I'll tell him about my day. I talk to him all the time. But the nights are the hardest. Being in a bed by yourself.
You ain't in the bed by yourself. Stop lying to these people.
Rolling over, trying to goodnight kiss that's not there.
You ain't even kissed him the night before he died. Now you worried about giving him a kiss when you roll over at night when he ain't there. Stop lying.
You know, it's, and anyone who's a widow knows what that means. How painful that is. Excuse me. It's so easy to take the
I see why I didn't watch this video when it came out, y'all. I can't take it. I can't. She making me mad because I know true love. I know real love. And this is just, man, this is different. I'm with y'all. So 25% say y'all think he gonna find the killer, and 60% say no. I don't think they're gonna find him either, y'all. Unless they want to, because people hate being wrong. You feel me? The government hate being wrong. People hate being wrong. So in order for them to find the true killer of this man, they're gonna have to say we were wrong. And I don't think they're capable of doing that. Just like plenty men and women are incapable of holding themselves accountable. Looking in the mirror and say, yes, I need to hold myself accountable so I can grow. Self-accountability is the best ability. And that's a fact.
Well, things for granted. But you know what's so interesting? I was thinking about this the other day. It's so easy to be in a position of feeling regret when you lose someone you love. And I tried to read a book by C.S. Lewis because he lost the love of his life. He was only married to her for 4 years. And it was a very hard book to read.
Why,
not because it was about grief, but because in the opening pages, he talked about how angry he was with God. And I've never felt that. I'm not angry with God.
See, this is the shit I'm talking about. This I'm not connected. Because it must be raining outside. This is stuff I'm talking about. So you mean to tell me, I don't care how much of a Christian that you are, how much of a relationship you have with God. You mean to tell me not one time in this whole ordeal did you ask God, why me, God? Why did you choose to make me go through this? When I lost my kids, I'm a preacher's son. And when I lost my kids, I asked God, why? Why me? I thought I was such a bad person that he didn't want me to have another boy. Because they say, made in your own image. So, a boy would have been made in my own image. So I asked him why. So you mean to tell me, and you losing the Charlie, the way you lost Charlie, in the manner from which you lost him, and you said, oh, it's cool, God got it. That's what you telling me? Your faith was so dope and so steadfast and immovable, you was like, oh, he got it. And then your goof ass gonna go out there at that WWE funeral go away thing with all them lights and firecrackers popping off, talking about some, I forgive him. Yeah, because he ain't the killer. I can forgive somebody who didn't do the crime. Easy. Lady, you're going to hell with gasoline drawers on.
Never happened. Never have I questioned, why, Lord, are you putting me through this? Why are you testing me? Why are you? Because God is so good and he's so sovereign. And I know he uses everything, even what the enemy meant for evil. And I have no regrets. And I think that that's why processing this for me is probably different than most, because people say, how can you do all what the other you do?
50-50 on
the phone. I loved and still love Charlie.
Did you watch the news after the assassination? Because there were some people saying that Charlie deserved to die.
Mm-hmm.
Charlie had it coming.
There's so much beauty in life. I don't know why you would waste your time saying somebody deserved to be publicly executed in front of everyone. That's just, why would you say that? Again, that could have been your parent, your spouse, your loved one. You think it's funny until it's someone you love? I would just ask them to really reassess their priorities in life if they get a high off of watching someone be murdered.
Jimmy Kimmel lied about your husband's murder.
and didn't really apologize, what would you say to Jimmy Kimmel?
Same thing I told Sinclair. They asked, I haven't really told anybody this, so they asked, do you want Jimmy to give you an apology? Do you want to be on his show? How can we make it right? Through our team, I responded. I said, tell them thank you. We received their no.
All right, y'all. I'm over it. So I'm gonna stop sharing that. Go back full screen. Look, man. I got a meeting coming up at 8:00, so I gotta get over here. But yeah, I mean, y'all see where we're going with this thing, man. I appreciate everybody for coming in and tuning in with me. I just can't take no more. I just can't take no more. But y'all see what it is. We're gonna continue this thing, man. We're gonna keep growing. We're gonna keep doing our thing. Thank everybody for stopping through. This poll actually says that they think that they will find the real true killer. I hope so, man. I hope so. He deserves justice. That's for fact. He deserves justice. And thank everybody for coming through. I got to get ready for my meeting, guys. We've been on almost for 2 hours. I want to go 2 hours, so I'm gonna stay on here for 4 more minutes. And yeah. Let's see what we got. I know everybody dying off now. I'm gonna end that poll, which is cool. Once again, like I said, thank everybody for coming through.